All right. So we are just getting ready to start the Parent University, our very first session of Parent University for this school year. We're just going to get the translation services set up for our English, for our Spanish-speaking families. So George, if you could jump onto the Spanish channel, and then Alcira, if you wouldn't mind giving us a translation in Spanish, please.
Sí, buenas tardes. Esta tarde estamos aquí en la sección de español para la Universidad de Padres, así que bienvenidos. Estamos esperando un momento para que entren las demás familias y poder tener la traducción.
So thank you, Alcira. I'm hearing the Spanish as well. Okay. So George, you were hearing the Spanish at that point?
¿Siempre escuchan cuando hablo en español?
Yes, and Alcira, I'm still hearing the Spanish on the English channel.
All right, so I just added Alcira explicitly as a interpreter. She wasn't on. Oh, now it's gone. Hang on.
So for any parents that are on right now, welcome to Parent University. We're just setting up our Spanish translation channel for our families who are Spanish speakers. So just stay tuned for just one moment and we will be right with you. All right. I think we are set and ready to go. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for your patience. We're running just a couple minutes behind here as we got our Spanish translation channel all up and running. My name is Paul McGinnis, and I'm the Director of Educational Technology here at Martin County School District and the proud parent of a 7th grader at Stewart Middle School. Our mission here at Martin County School District is to educate all students for success. So whether you have an in-school learner or a remote learner, we are here to help them succeed. Whether your child has a district-issued device or brings their own device to school every day, we are here to help them succeed. With the support of Superintendent Gaylord and the school board, we have become a one-to-one district, which means that we have a device available for every student in our district. And that happened in just a few short months, which is quite an accomplishment. We now have close to 14,000 district-owned devices in the hands of our students. We are here tonight in the first of our Parent University learning sessions to talk about technology and how it can be used to help your student in their daily educational journey. We are so grateful that you have taken the time to join us. After our various presentations, we will use our remaining time to answer your questions. So please post your questions in the Q&A. And as we're going through the presentation, we'll answer as many of those questions as we can live. Tonight's presentation will be posted on our website at martinschools.org. Just look for the link to Parent University. Additionally, the questions and answers will be posted there as well, in both English and in Spanish. So if we don't get to answer all of the questions tonight, you will be able to find the answers there. So let's get started. We have so much to share with you tonight. As I said, my name is Paul McGinnis, and I'm the Director of Educational Technology. Some other folks from the district who are helping tonight: Priscilla McAdams, who's our desktop support technician; George Bogley, our coordinator of digital learning; and Alcira Gonzalez, who's our family engagement coach. For our Spanish-speaking families, here's how to access the Spanish translation from the Zoom meeting. Please select Interpretation at the bottom, and then Spanish to listen to this presentation in Spanish. Muchísimas gracias, Alcira, por traducir para nuestras familias en español esta noche. And again, the slide in Spanish here, just letting you know how to access the Spanish translation feature. We have a lot to cover tonight. On our agenda, we have district devices, hotspots, Focus Parent Portal, the COVID dashboard, signing into district issued devices, remote learning, digital tools and resources, our next Parent University session, and questions and answers. So here's some useful tips for the use of the district issued devices. The students are responsible for the devices in their care, and it's important to remember that fees may be charged for damage to devices or for devices that are lost or stolen. Devices are to be used for educational purposes. No food or drink should be next to or on the device. It's very easy for spills to happen, and these devices are certainly not waterproof. When plugging in flash drives, removable storage devices, or other peripherals, just be careful when inserting them into the ports. It's easy to damage a port on a device. No writing, drawing, or stickers on devices. When we get a device back from a student, we hope to be able to use it again in the future for another student. So no permanent markers, no stickers on the devices. Keep them as clean as possible. Never leave devices unsupervised. That's how devices get lost and stolen. So always be careful about the devices, and never loan the device to anyone. Your student's responsible for the device at all times. When carrying a device, they should be placed in a backpack or a laptop bag so that they aren't dropped or damaged when they're being carried around campus. Do not lean on top of the device when it's closed, and also don't place heavy objects on the device when it's closed. It's easy to crack a case or a screen. Don't pick up the device by the screen. And when closing the devices, ensure there are no objects on top of the keyboard, such as pens or pencils, etc., so that when the device is closed, it doesn't get damaged. Don't save any documents locally on the device. Documents should be saved to the student's Google Drive or to a removable storage device. When a device is turned into the district, we electronically wipe that device, so any documents that might be on the device will be lost. When the device is not in use, it should always be password locked. And the device should come fully charged to school every day. With almost 14,000 devices in the hands of our students, it's impossible for us to charge all those devices while they're in school. So bring the device fully charged to school and be ready to start using it as soon as class begins. So for our remote learners, how do you get help when you need some technical assistance with the device? The first thing that you should do is you should email mcsdlaptops@martinschools.org. Oftentimes we can resolve issues through email, and once a student emails that email address, one of the technicians here at the district will respond, and we will try to resolve the issue through email. If we cannot do that, we have two support centers, one at district offices here at 1939 Southeast Federal Highway. Currently, the offices are open from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, and at Indiantown Middle School, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Paul, I'm just going to jump in here real quick if you don't mind. I just wanted to remind our participants that there is a feature at the bottom of their Zoom toolbar for Q&A. If they should have any questions, they can go ahead and type those in there and we will respond. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, George. So at the district office location, the support site is located at the back of the campus. So I just wanted to show you guys how to get here so that there was no confusion.
Hello again, parents. We have 16 desktop technicians and site support staff assisting teachers, students, and administration at 22 locations. We have 2 district laptop support sites for our remote learners, one in Indiantown and one here at our main building, 1939 US 1. When you come in, parking is available on the back. Just follow the signs that say Student Laptop Support. Our support hours are between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. When you reach the door, ring the bell, and an ET staff member will assist you. For your protection and ours, our ET staff practices mask wearing. This concludes our ET informational. I hope this has been informative for you, and we would like to thank you for viewing.
Thank you, Gus and Alec, excuse me, for that video. So although I did already state that the hours are 8 to 12 here and 9 to 12 at Indiantown Middle, effective on Monday, November 9th, we are changing the hours, and this is to make it more convenient for our families. We wanted to ensure that we weren't interrupting student instruction, so we're offering afternoon hours from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at district offices and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Indiantown Middle School. There will be no morning hours at either location beginning on Monday, November 9th. For in-school students, if you need support for your district provided laptop, simply follow the procedures in place at your school, and a media specialist or teacher will open a help ticket. Then one of our technicians will come to the school and resolve the issue for you. So for in-school students, no need to come to a support site. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the common types of damage that we're seeing with these devices, just to make you aware. And we have another video clip for you guys to see.
Hello, parents. Welcome to the Martin County School District's Educational Technology Department, also known as the ET Department. My name is Gus, and I'm here to share with you an inside look at our student laptop operations. This is our work area where we provide ongoing support to all of our student laptops. It helps us keep track of all the laptop inventory and repair process. A big part of our operations happen here at our workbench, where we diagnose, troubleshoot, fix, and prepare the laptops for deployment. To give you an idea of what we encounter day to day, here are a few laptops. This one right here looks like the casing has cracked, so we'll have to get looked at by our warranty experts as to what to do for our next steps. This one here has missing keys, and we also encounter cracked screens, like this one right here. So no student laptop issue is too big or small for AT to handle, but at the same time, we would like students not to encounter any downtime and have their laptop here at the workbench. So here are a few friendly tips to keep your student's laptop in good shape. Do not keep food and drink near the device. These devices are not waterproof, so any liquid damage can potentially damage the laptop. Do not lend your device to anyone, and if you're not using your laptop, make sure your password protected. Devices must remain free of any writing, drawing, stickers, or labels. The only label really should be your student name or your 4300 number. And when traveling, make sure you keep your device protected in a backpack with sufficient padding. Screen care, very important. These screens are very sensitive, so do not poke at the screen. And do not lean on the screen while it's closed or place heavy objects on top of it. And make sure that when you close it, there aren't any pencils or calculators that will prevent the closing of the laptop and hence damaging the screen. A complete list of all these laptop care guidelines can be found at the martinschools.org website.
All right, so we're moving on to hotspots. District hotspots are available on a very limited basis for remote learning students who do not have internet access in their home. If you need a hotspot, just follow the following. Contact the principal at your child's school. The principal will determine if you qualify for a hotspot. And the way they do that is they will check to see if you've been able to get internet access from a provider. Many of them offer free and low cost options for internet. If you do qualify, you may pick up the hotspot from one of the 2 support centers that I already listed during the hours that I already mentioned. And we're only giving 1 hotspot per family. So if you have more than 1 student, simply contact the principal at one of your students' schools, and we will go through the process. Next thing we're going to talk about is Focus. Focus is our student information system. It's used by our teachers and administrators every day. And their Focus offers a parent portal, which is designed to enhance communication and involvement for you in your child's education. There are many valuable pieces of information within Focus. And we're going to show you now how to create a parent portal account within Focus. So Carmen's going to take us through those steps.
Greetings. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the process of setting up a parent portal account in Focus. Focus allows parents to log into the school district's site where they can view the information for their enrolled students. The documentation provides step-by-step guidance for parents to set up their Focus Parent Portal account. If a parent has multiple children enrolled in the district, they can add each student individually. The district has set up information requirements to create the parent portal account, and additional verification may be needed before the student information can be accessed by the parents. Now, to complete the registration process, you will need the following 4 items. The last 4 digits of your child's Social Security number. If you did not give a Social Security number to the school, then please use 4 zeros. Your child's student ID number, which is a 10-digit number that begins with 4300. It can be found on a prior report card or by contacting your child's school or by asking your child that they may know what their number is. Your child's date of birth. And the last item is a valid email address that will become your Focus Parent Portal username. Okay, at this point here, what we're going to do is go to the district's main website, which you can see here on the screen, and we're going to click Focus. Okay, on this screen here, we have a couple options. We can go directly to the Focus Parent Portal registration in English, or if you need some additional step-by-step instructions, you can go here. So we're going to go ahead and click on this link here, and then I'm going to click on Focus Parent Portal registration. The link right below that was the Spanish version of this thing that I'm showing you right now. And I'm going to make it a little bit larger. You can see there's some additional information that you can view and get some more information on. And when you're ready, click on this link right here, and it will take you to this page right here. On this page here, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom where we're going to see we have 6 possible links. The top 3 are English, and the bottom 3 are the exact same links in Spanish. At this point, I'm going to click on I do not have an account registered on the parent portal, but my child is actively enrolled. Okay, you can see here that I've already keyed in my name and my email address, and I've created a password with the minimum 8 characters. And now I'm going to click on I am not a robot, and I get to go through this. Okay, and I've completed the CAPTCHA verification. I'm going to click submit. And on this screen here, I'm going to click I would like to add a child who is already enrolled. Okay, I've keyed in 4 zeros for the last 4 digits of Social Security number, since we do not have an active Social Security number for our child. And I'm going to type in their 4300 number, which is a fictitious number at this point, and their student's birth date. Okay, then I'm going to click I am not a robot and click add a student. Success. Now we have created our parent portal account, and I'm going to click I would like to add a child who is already enrolled. Now I've keyed the information in for our second child. I'm going to click I am not a robot and click add a student. Okay, we have successfully added our second child. At this point here, I'm going to click I am finished adding students. Please take me to the portal. Okay, as you can see, we have both Iron and Wendy on the parent portal. And please stay tuned for the next video that will show you the information that you can see on this parent portal video. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Carmen. There's another link here for adding additional children to your parent portal account that you've already created. We covered that in the first video. But if you'd like to see that, you're more than welcome to come back here and view that. And then on this next slide, we're going to look at some of the things you can do in Focus once you have your parent portal account created. And again, Carmen's going to take us through some of the things you can do within Focus as a parent.
Greetings. The purpose of this video is meant to show the parents what information is available on the Focus parent portal for their children. We're going to start by logging into Focus by going to the Martin County Main District School website and clicking on Focus. Okay, from here we're going to do a Focus login. This will give you the login page where you're going to put in your username and your password for your parent portal account. And you're going to click login. Okay, and the system is logging us in right now. And we are at our parent portal page. Now we have 2 students, 2 children, Iron and Wendy. You can take a look at the information for both children separately. Right now we'll take a look at Wendy's information. Clicking on her name to the left will give you a series of these other menu options here, and you can go through them at your leisure. And student information, if you see anything that's incorrect, you can certainly notify the school and get it corrected. Wendy's class schedule, which will show her current classes, her teachers, and various other information that you see on the screen. Wendy's grades, Wendy's test history, her attendance information, including her absences, any fees and payments that are owed to the school for Wendy, any grade changes, class requests for next year if she's a high school student. Okay, graduation requirements. It shows you where she's at as far as attaining her graduation diploma. Okay, standard grades wouldn't apply to Wendy because that would only be for elementary school, and any type of discipline referrals could be looked at here as well. So going back to the portal page, you can click on the icon up here. You'll see various tab informations for both for Iron and for Wendy. And this would be the place where you would see Wendy's report card or Iron's report card. You would click on reports, and if a report card was generated, it would show up here. You'd actually be able to click it, download it, print it off, etc. Okay, and again, same thing for Iron. Okay. Other information on the parent portal, school information, your profile information. We'll just click on that real quickly. Show you your email account, all of your students that are attached. So here we see both Iron Man and Wendy, two great kids. Okay, and your preferences. That's about it for now. If you have further information, you can contact your school. Thank you very much for watching.
All right. Thank you, Carmen. The next thing we're going to talk about is the COVID dashboard. So the district released this dashboard a few weeks ago for the public, all parents and members of the public, and it provides insight into positive COVID cases, along with associated quarantine numbers since the beginning of the school year on August 11th of this year. You can view the dashboard on the main district webpage at martinschools.org, or you can click here on the link and it will take us to the same place. When you first open the dashboard, in the top right-hand corner, it will tell you when this data was last refreshed. So it was last refreshed at midnight last night. When you first open it, it will show you the information for the entire district. If you look on the left-hand side, that indicates the number of confirmed positive cases of COVID in the district since August 11th. By using the scroll bar at the bottom, you can scroll through the dates right up to the latest date that we have information for. So what are we seeing here? So we can see on September 10th, there were 3 cases. The red indicates these were students. The blue indicates staff. So on September 14th, we had 1 staff and 2 students with positive COVID cases. If you want to see specifics for a certain school, just click on the drop down here in the school, and then you can choose the school that you need to look at. If you are looking for a specific school that's not in this drop down list, that means that we did not have any cases of COVID in that school. So for instance, Bessie Creek would be one of the first alphabetically, but it's not listed here. Therefore, they did not have any cases of COVID. If you want to look at a specific school, just click on that school. The data will refresh. And what you're looking at now is just the data for that specific school. In this case, I chose Anderson Middle School. Since the beginning of August, they've had 4 staff and 4 students for a total of 8 cases of COVID. On the right-hand side, we see the number of quarantines that have occurred since August 11th. Again, this is information for Anderson Middle, since that's the school that I have chosen to look at. You can see the dates of the quarantines. Again, the blue indicates staff, the red indicates student. If you place your mouse cursor over any block, it will show you the quarantine start date and when the staff and or student was eligible to return to the school. So this information is available to you. Feel free to go look at it and find the school or schools that are of interest to you. And the district has made that information available to you so that you can make informed decisions about the education of your students. Device sign-in. So we're very well into the school year now. I have no doubt that all students are well aware how to log on to their device, but if you're new to the district, feel free to come in here, click on the link, and you will see the information sheet on how a student logs into a Chromebook. There are 2 different types of devices that we issued to students. The majority of them are Chromebooks, but there are some Windows laptops out there in the hands of students. So this first document gives the instructions for logging onto a Chromebook. On the next slide are the instructions for logging on to a Windows device. So feel free to go through those if you need further information for logging into a student device. remote learning. So I'm going to hand it over to George Bogley, who's our coordinator of digital learning, to take us through the next series of slides. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. As Paul mentioned, my name is George Vogley, and I am the coordinator of digital learning. And along with being the coordinator of digital learning, I also have a son that is at Palm City Elementary, Go Wildcats. And I also have a younger daughter that will be joining one of the Martin County schools in a few short years. So let's get started with which students have the option to learn remotely. The first is students who have signed up for the remote learning at home option. Second, we have students who are currently in quarantine or isolation. Third, students who are sick but are well enough to participate in school. And finally, students who are awaiting or have a family member at home waiting for a COVID test result. And please be aware that the last two options do need a doctor note indicating a reason for being present online for those remote learning days that they are staying at home. And also the remote learning option requires students to keep the camera on unless otherwise explicitly told by their teacher that they can shut them off. And the reason why we would like to see all students utilizing their cameras are to have those students actively participate in class, engage with the other students, and be engaged in school. And this is, of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic. And this requirement to have all remote learners using their cameras throughout the entire school day is going to start on November 9th. I'm sorry, November 11th. November 9th, I'm sorry. And what I would like to do now is go ahead and jump into a couple other items that our teachers and students do utilize on a daily basis, whether they are a remote learner or in a physical school. The first being Classlink. Classlink is a wonderful application we use here in Martin County School District. Essentially what it does is it is one place that the students sign into. And what this does, it has an entire dashboard of applications and software programs that the students and teachers use. And the best part about this is they do not need to remember passwords or usernames or anything like that. I know I've been there where we have so many different applications we use, and it's hard to keep aware of all those different credentials we need. So basically, they log into Classlink, click on the application they want, and they're signed in automatically. So it depends if you're using a Windows laptop or a district Chromebook. On a Windows laptop, on their Windows home screen, the students are going to see that little cloud icon. They'll click on the Classlink cloud icon, and they'll be taken to the login page for Classlink. On a district Chromebook, they can click the Chrome icon on the bottom of their Chromebook, and that will automatically default to the Classlink login page. Alternatively, if you are not using a district device, there are these three different options, these three URLs that you can also access the Classlink Martin County School District login page from. Once you get to the Enter Digital Martin Classlink sign-in page, you are going to go ahead and enter the student's 4300 number, and then their password is the same as what they use as their network credentials. So essentially what this means is each student has their own student ID number and their own unique password as well. This can be found in the Focus Parent Portal. If you're not able to find that, if your child doesn't know what their password is, feel free to go ahead and call your school site and they'll be able to assist you with those credentials. And once you have the credentials entered, what you can do is go ahead, and if you're at home, you're going to click on the blue button. And Classlink makes it really easy because if the student is at school, once they simply get to this login page, all they have to do is click the red button. And go ahead, Paul, we can watch a short video of what this looks like.
Greetings, students, parents, and guardians. In this video, you're going to learn how to sign into Classlink from a district device from home. At the Windows home screen, go ahead and find the Classlink icon. It is a cloud. This will bring you to the Classlink sign-in page. For the username and password, this is going to be the student's network credentials, meaning however they sign into any school district device, they're going to use that username and password here. The username is going to be the student's 4300 number. And the password is going to be whatever personal password they have to sign into any district device. One caveat of this is some kindergarten students are going to use the password ABC period 1234 for their password. After you have your credentials entered, select the sign in, the blue sign in button, and you'll be brought directly to the Classlink Launchpad. Greetings.
All right, so once the student has signed in a Classlink, they're going to see their Classlink Launchpad. And you can kind of see in this image, this is what it will look like. It's very similar. Of course, each student's personal Launchpad is going to look a little different. But once they're on this Launchpad, this is where Classlink really shines, because all of these different applications and icons that you see, the students are now able to go ahead and click into each one of these, and there's no credentials, no username, no password required. So it makes it very easy, very time efficient for both students and teachers. Moving on to talk about some Google applications. So within Martin County School District, we do utilize Google applications and G Suite for Education. And some of these commonly used applications within Google include, but definitely not limited to, Google Classroom, where every single teacher in the district and every single student does utilize Google Classroom, which I'm going to talk about a little bit further detail shortly. We do utilize Google Docs, which is similar to Microsoft Word. We utilize Google Slides, which is very similar to PowerPoint. And also, we do utilize Gmail if your school site decided to utilize that. And the way Gmail is used is for direct communication between teacher to student and student to teacher. We did take proper precautions to lock down the Gmail options for students. This way, they are not able to email anyone outside of their teachers. They also cannot receive any emails from any outside organization. Essentially, they can't receive an email from anyone except for their teacher. And we also do use YouTube. We do have YouTube in a restricted mode, which means that we utilize YouTube's algorithm to ensure that it's not coming in with any inappropriate content. On top of the automatic algorithm that YouTube utilizes for their restricted mode, we also do website filtering and video filtering at the educational technology level here in-house as well. Talking a little bit more about Google Classroom, this is basically, especially now in our remote learning and kind of hybrid with students in the classroom as well as remote learners, this is our central hub of instruction that all teachers do utilize. The main things that we're going to find in Google Classroom are assignments, the link to each individual teacher's Zoom meetings, as well as teacher communication with students. On the right-hand side, you can see that this is where students are going to be receiving assignments, where they're going to be submitting assignments. If there's any upcoming important dates or any homework assignments or class assignments that are due, there is also announcements within there and reminders for the students. And finally, this is categorized by folders in the stream as well as the category section of the classwork section, of Google Classroom. So once the student clicks into Google Classroom, and we do have an icon on the Classlink Launchpad for Google Classroom, the student clicks on the image for Google Classroom, they're going to see something very similar to what you're seeing on your screen now. It's going to show each one of their individual classes. And once they click into that class, it's going to take them into the actual classroom page. There are a few ways for students to join classrooms. The first, the teacher can choose to individually invite students to the class. And if you see here on the 4th class over, there is a blue accept button, and that is very similar to what students would see when they get a direct invitation to join a classroom. The second option is a teacher provided code. In this scenario, teachers will provide students with it's like a 6 or 7 digit mixture of numbers and letters. The students enter that code in, submit, and they are in the classroom. And this is a few screenshots of what a Google Classroom dashboard looks like. If you look at the left image, at the very top, you're going to see multiple tabs. The first being Stream, the second is Classwork, the third is People, and the last one is Grades. I'm going to specifically talk about the first 2 items. So the first being the stream, and what I like to compare this to is pretty much with any social media platform such as Facebook. As things get posted and populate, it's a running tab of all of those items. So any assignment, any announcement that the teacher makes, these are going to populate in the stream. And then the second tab, classwork, is where most of the actual work and communication is actually going to be done. So on this first image on the left, I am on the classwork tab. And what I want to draw your attention to right here is on the very left-hand side of this screenshot, it says all topics. And this is the way teachers organize their Google Classrooms. The first being teacher contact information, and this is where you can find information on the teacher's preferred method of communication, whether that be communication directly through Google Classroom. It could also be Gmail, or it may also be direct communication to their martinschools.org email account. Below teacher contact information is a topic for Zoom link. And if I were to click on Zoom link, you would go ahead and see this image on the right-hand side. And what you would see is a box underneath with the launch meeting Zoom and the URL for students to join that URL session, or I'm sorry, the Zoom session. And then finally, in the classwork section, most teachers are utilizing the organizational feature of using weeks to keep everything organized this school year. All right, Zoom updates. So we, as a district, have purchased a district license for Zoom. We are currently provisioning all of that and getting everything set up in the background. But once this goes live, there will be a very minimal impact to teachers and students as far as what they need to do to effectively turn this on. We can do most of that on our end, but it does include quite a number of additional features and safety features. So once we do have the district license updated, it will only allow employees and students to be able to join meetings. Right now, this is pretty much 100% under control anyway, with the way we have our current settings set up. A few other things is it's going to give our teachers additional features, such as polling and a few other engagement strategies that will support instruction. There will be a virtual background that students can choose if they choose to do so whenever they're learning remotely. And this will only be one option. It will be a stock Martin County School District approved option. So all students that choose to use a virtual background will have the same background. And again, I just want to highlight the fact that on November 9th, we are going to require that all remote learners do keep those cameras turned on throughout the entirety of the instructional day, unless they are specifically directed by the teacher that they are allowed to turn them off. And again, I just want to stress this point because we are going to make a big push to have student cameras turned on and enabled on November 9th. And again, this is just to make sure that all students are actively engaged and participating in instructional activities with their classmates. And having been at multiple school sites and hearing from teachers and students, when those cameras are turned on, they love it. The engagement really does, increase drastically. Students like to see their friends and peers. They like to see their teachers. The teachers like to see the students. So it really is a win-win for everyone. And Paul, go ahead on to the next slide. And again, if you need to get your student device camera enabled, here are the district offices. You can take that laptop to a our district office up until November 9th. You can take it from 8 to 12 at our district office. At the Indiantown Middle School location, it's from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. And then on November 9th, those times are going to switch. At the district office, it will be available from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. and at the Indiantown Middle School location from 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. And finally, there are a lot of resources and tutorials that we've put together that you may find helpful. So for instance, if you go to martinschools.org and then departments, and then select digital learning, on that page, you're going to see these two different options, parent and student resources, and the same button, but in Spanish. And what you'll find in these guides are basically tutorials, both video and written, for all of the different items that we talked about today. So there's guides for Focus, Google Classroom, Google Applications, Zoom, and pretty much any digital tool or application that students utilize, there are some written and video tutorials. Paul, do you mind clicking on one of those links so we can see what that looks like? So this is the guide, and you can see we have Classlink, Google Classroom, Zoom, and then we're also going to have iReady Snap and Read, which is a text accessibility tool, Imagine Learning, Edgenuity, and also Wi-Fi instructions as well for our students.
So thank you, George. I appreciate that. This is Paul McGinnis again. So we're just about to the end of our presentation tonight, but we did want to mention that on December 3rd at 6 p.m., we'll have our next Parent University. And the topic for that session will be the district response to COVID-19. So we'll be here to answer all your questions, to give you guys all kinds of information about how we're dealing with COVID-19, all the safety procedures that are in place, how we're keeping staff and students safe. We've been doing an amazing job up to now, and we would like to share with you all of that information on December 3rd at 6 p.m. So at this point, I'd like to open it up and see if there are any questions out there that we could answer at this point in time. Priscilla, do you have anything? Priscilla, you're muted.
There are a couple of questions. One was, what is the planner section of Focus? I wasn't quite sure on that.
The planner section?
On Focus?
Well, I will find out, and we will post the answer to that question after the presentation.
Okay.
Some of those options in Focus are being used right now, and some aren't. So I'll find out if that's in use and what exactly it's used for.
Okay, thank you.
Was there anything else, Priscilla?
We can discuss them later.
Okay.
I see a question on how do you enable the stock Zoom background. This will be a feature that is enabled once we switch over to all users, students and teachers utilizing the district license. And what the student would do is they would be able to click on in the bottom toolbar of Zoom where it says video. There is a little caret they can open up, and there will be an option that says choose virtual background. And from there, the student can then choose the virtual background. And the only option there for students once this is enabled will be the stock MCSD approved virtual background.
Okay. Thank you, George. Do we have anything else? Tracy, Mary, was there anything else you'd like us to cover from the questions from the Q&A?
Thank you, Paul. We've been responding to questions in the chat, and as mentioned, all of those questions and responses will be posted for everyone.
Great.
And just a reminder, kind of a global reminder, if there's a concern in a particular classroom or with a particular teacher, I'm seeing some questions about students getting kicked out due to connectivity issues. Please don't hesitate to contact the teacher directly and share the concerns that you're having. If it's something that's based on technology and not something the teacher is able to resolve, she'll refer you to our technology department. You've heard tonight, they're very responsive and they'll be happy to help. And if there's an issue that is related to just responsiveness on the part of the teacher or something that's happening in the classroom, please always don't hesitate to contact your school site administrator, but always give a courtesy to the teachers to talk with them first. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. That was Tracy Miller, our Chief Academic Officer here at the district. So that's all of the information we have for you guys tonight. As Tracy mentioned, don't hesitate to get in touch with teachers or use MCSD laptops. We're here to help. If we don't know about an issue, then we can't help you resolve the issue. So please feel free to reach out. Doesn't matter how big or small the problem seems. We will work through the issue and we will get to the bottom of it. Again, as George mentioned, if your child's camera is not currently enabled, we encourage you to get to one of the support centers. It's a very quick process and we will either get it turned on for you in the course of a couple of minutes, or we'll issue you a different device that's already got the camera enabled. So it's really important for those remote students that we get those cameras on, so that starting on Monday, November 9th, all the students will be able to use their cameras while in the classroom, and they're expected to be on at all times. So that's very important. And if there are no other questions, I think we will wrap up our first Parent University session. I'd like to thank all the staff members that have helped out tonight, both online tonight and in the preparation of the various presentations, and also to the parents. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We hope this has been helpful. Our goal is to give you the information that will help you and your students succeed this school year. And again, if there's anything at all we can do, just get in touch and we'll try to get it taken care of. Thank you so much.
Paul, there's a question about who did they reach specifically when having an issue with MCSD website, for example, navigating and finding something.
You want to stop recording, Paul? Sorry. Click the.
I was just going to say, Chris, if you haven't already, you could end the attendee part of the meeting.
I can't do that without ending the entire meeting.
Okay. All right. So if there's a problem with MCS navigating the actual website itself, certainly the parent or student could still email MCSD laptops. We certainly could start the conversation there. And then we'll determine if it's an issue, a technical issue, or if it's an issue that we need to forward to our PIO due to some other technical problem. Any email that comes to MCSD laptops will get answered, even if it's not something that falls into our wheelhouse. We'll get it routed to the correct person.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Stay safe. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. I'm just capturing all the texts and whatnot.
Okay.